Hi Capricorn, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol and there's no date on this reading, and I trust that when it comes into your feed it's meant for you. This is a healing channel, and I've been able to apply my own parts therapy work that I've been doing intensively for the last 8.5 years with a trauma coach to reading this tarot. So you're gonna hear me say there's a part of you that does this and there's a part of you does that. And that's because, like I said, I've been able to apply my parts therapy to it. So we're going to get started today with, right now I have my pendulum. And I'm going to select a card from Ina Segal's Heal Yourself deck. And that's going to give us an overriding theme of what area you need to focus on. And then I'm going to pull out the tarot. And for you today, Capricorn, I'm using the Ehrenberg Tarot. And I'm also going to be using the Radiant Rider-Waite, and to clarify that. And so with the tarot, I'm going to be looking at what situation or issue you're dealing with right now that is related to this theme on this healing card. I'm also going to be looking what's coming up from your own shadow that needs healing. And if you're not familiar with the term shadow or shadow work, those are those parts of us that we've repressed, those things that we've repressed when we were younger, all our trauma, all our memories, our big emotions that we couldn't handle when we were younger. And our inner parts, our inner children, hold all of that information for us. And so that's going to be coming up right now. And I'm going to look at what is needing healing, because that is what is going to direct or have the biggest influence on the issue that you're dealing with right now. And that's how this healing journey works. And so finally, I'm going to ask for some guidance from the tarot, and what it's telling you to, start to work on, and what you need to work on. Because remember that this is a process, this healing journey. I'm not going to provide you with any magic pill here, but I will, with the help of the tarot, direct you into, where you can start to heal yourself. And I also will offer you some videos at the end that I've done on my other channel, my YouTube channel called Carol Cares. And it's a healing channel as well, and it offers you some videos there. I mean, a few of them are, the videos are 2 or 3 years old, but they're actually there to help you with some main issues that you're dealing with right now. And so they will be really reflective of what you're needing to work on here. So let's start out by asking the pendulum to select a card for Capricorn right now as to what area of their life they need to deal with. So a theme here. It's not always obvious to you out there what's coming up here, but I can see, I can see that it's really going to my right now. It'll be your left. And then it becomes a little bit more clear as I let it. So sometimes if I just lower it, yeah, I think I have an idea. Yeah, I think it was focusing this card right here. So put that aside. And I love using these cards in the pendulum. I don't know what it is. I think they both go together. So, and the exciting part is, okay, so what card did you select? And I'm going to read from Ina's reading here. Oh, I don't think I've picked this one before. Some of them repeat for sure. So you have the card Sadness. It's easy to swallow your sadness and hide behind a fake smile. Yet sadness can open the door to your heart and help you access compassion. When you can truly allow yourself to cry and feel sorrow over the loss of a loved one, a lost opportunity, a broken heart, or a friendship that's ended, you cleanse your soul and allow your heart to heal. Crying and feeling vulnerable can be a sign of strength, which demonstrates your connection to your body. To admit weakness can allow you to know yourself, embrace your limitations, and evolve. Be willing to let go of the cold walls of protection you have created, which make you feel empty and sick. You don't need to get lost in your emotions. Just give yourself time to feel them and let them move through your whole being, cleansing and purifying your heart, your body, and your soul. It's a beautiful card for you to get, Capricorn. So I'm going to keep that right here. And actually, I'm going to pull. There's a little cheat sheet I have in there that I want to focus on for you. And I don't, which is very interesting. It's not there. It's either fallen out. Oh, sorry. I did pull it out. What am I thinking here? So yeah, where are you holding on to feelings of loss, grief, and sadness? Right? So where are you putting on your fake mask of, you know, I think of right away when I read the first part about your sadness and hide behind a fake smile. And I almost think of that Hallmark card situation where there's just so much online that says we need to think positive. We need to be positive. Be positive, be positive, you know, and that's what's eventually going to get you to, you know, get over your sadness. But, you know, I have a real issue with that because as someone that has had to work through and process so many feelings of sadness myself, and I can't tell you how much I've cried, not enough, I know. But I continue to cry and process and grieve and process all my emotions. And I find that positive stuff, when you put that mask on, doesn't help you one single bit, because if you're sad, you're sad, and you need to sit with that. And I think when you hear that message of positivity, well, that just puts on another mask, and that's not what you need to do. You need to sit. You need to sit with that sadness and ground into that and feel it, right? So there's some grieving here that needs to take place. I imagine that there's going to be some cards that are going to show up for you. So let's start off with asking the tarot right now, what situation Capricorn is. What are you dealing with today? You know, what is the card that you're dealing with? We have two cards that came out. The first card that came out is the Star card in reverse. Before I even look at the one behind it, there's two of them. The Star card talks about healing. So there's some healing that needs to be done. No surprise that you got the healing card, right? And that's in reverse, which tells me that there's a real resistance on your part. So, you know, there is some kind of blocking that goes on. If there's one emotion that we will all block and not want to get to, is our grief. But that is the, like, almost like the final emotion that we're trying to get to, because that's the one that just washes everything away and opens up our heart. So the second card behind the healing is the Tower card. So there is something that's happened here for you for sure, because you have a Tower card that comes out for you as your situation, something that's happened that's you know, obviously you're needing to grieve. What's coming up from your shadow that needs healing? So there's something here that's directly related to having the biggest impact on this situation right here, that really is what's happening to you right now is actually bringing up something from your past. Could be your childhood. It could be your adolescence. And sure, there's something definitely that's happened to you in your life, because there's a Tower moment here. But it's actually triggering something from your shadow that needs healing. So we're going to see what card here comes up from your... Ooh, too many, but there is one that came up that I need to look at. And that is your Ace of Swords. Your Ace of Swords. We'll talk about what that means in a minute. And what guidance does the tarot have for you? One card here. This deck is usually really good at just spitting out one card, but for some reason it's wanting to talk. It's been a while since I've sat here and did tarot. It's just I'm working through some things, and finally I'm coming saying, no, I'm doing tarot today. You have the Moon card in reverse. So I love reading tarot, but as I work through a lot of my stuff as well, you know, and it just makes me read my cards on a deeper level. So I'm going to ask for some clarity for the Star and the Tower, even though I can see that I'm going to ask for one card here for some clarification. You can see that there's something that's happened to you for sure, you're dealing with right now. You have the Page of Pentacles. That's one of your inner children. Ace of Swords, if I can have, let me see, a couple cards from the Ace of Swords. One. Oh, this one, the Sun card. Okay, so you have the King of Wands in reverse and the Sun card. I really like what's in your shadow. says a lot of what's going on with you right now. The Moon. Couple cards here. One and one more. There we go. So, you have the Six of Swords in reverse with the Seven of Pentacles. So let's begin with, and I think I mentioned already a bit about what you're sitting with right now that's related to sadness. So you're definitely needing some healing around something. Like I said, the Tower card comes in here. So there's something, and this is, what's going on with you now. So this is recent. I don't know how recent this could be for you, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't get the Tower card that often in my readings. And if I do, it's usually in reverse, but it's in an upright position right here. So this has been something that has really thrown you for a loop, I'm going to say. Like it could be some kind of a relationship has ended. I know that when I read something earlier on, there was a few things that could have happened. Maybe, there's something there's significant, tragic, maybe a tragic incident, but it could feel like a tragedy to you, whatever it is, because there's a Tower moment, and a Tower moment will signify that. I always look at a Tower moment when it happens to me. I feel like the world is ending for sure. It's like the universe has taken this bat, and it's a big bat, and it's hit you over the head with it, and it's like, and maybe it's like that. I think when I look back, when I've had my Tower moments, the universe kind of gave me these red signs, these red flags that said, you need to change course here. You need to, whether it's not, there were warnings from the universe that this was coming, and you almost knew. And then so finally, something happens where, and usually I find with Tower moments, there's like big lessons here from the universe. They're universal big lessons that we need to learn. But in order for us to learn these lessons, we need to get to the grieving. We need to process it. And so what's happening here is you get a Page of Pentacles as the card I asked for underneath. And the pages in my deck are our inner children. I know that mainstream psychology likes to say that we just have one inner child, but because I've been on my own intensive healing journey for quite a while now with parts therapy, I've found out and discovered that I have more than one inner child that holds our trauma, our memories, our emotions. This particular page is the Page of Pentacles, and the pentacle itself talks about your body, getting back into your body. And the biggest, I think that when we talk about things like self-love, I think that the most loving thing that we can do for ourselves is to finally accept ourselves. And that means really getting into our body, like embodying who we really are. You hear that word embodiment, and it's got the word body in it. It means like, let's get back into our body and find out who we really are. Because when we get back into our body, we can get in touch with who this child is and what they want to tell us. Because when a page comes up in a reading, it tells me that there's an inner part of you, an inner child, a younger part, could be 4, 5, 6 years old, could be an adolescent part of you that has a memory, that has something they want to tell you. They need healing, and they need you to listen to them, not anybody else. You are the only one that can listen to your inner children now. You're the only one that can heal your inner children. And we heal our inner children by listening to them. We heal our inner children by feeling the big emotions that they couldn't feel, because when they were younger and traumatic things happened to them, they held these big emotions for us. And now it's up to us to reparent and feel what they couldn't feel. So you have an inner child that needs healing and is trying to connect to you. And I do that through my journaling. I often journal back and forth to them, and they write to me and they tell me the memory. It might take a few times. Sometimes they get the details wrong, but then as I work through it more, my emotions with it, I can get the real story from them. And so what is it that's coming up from your shadow that needs healing, that's really impacting the sadness that you're feeling around this Tower moment? Well, I think there was something that happened to you when you're younger for sure, because you get this Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords, an ace, first of all, is like this gift from this universe. It's a gift. And so you have this gift right here. In our shadow, oftentimes people think it's just these ugly things that we've repressed about ourselves. But as we chip away at our shadow and as we peel away the layers of trauma, we get to what I call gifts, beautiful things in there. And one of the beautiful things that's sitting here that's buried in your shadow is your Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords speaks about your truth, your authenticity. And so there is a part of you, who you really are, right? No surprise that I talked about masks at the beginning, the mask of positivity and putting that on, right? So maybe you were taught as a young child to, you know, put up and shut up when you had your emotions and just, and you know, not, and a lot of, you know, parents is just don't deal with, allow our kids to express and you know, myself included when I was a parent, express their emotions or maybe not being there for them and not hearing them, right? But we're the parent now for our own inner children, so we're going to take the time for them. And so your true self, your authenticity was not allowed to come forward when you were younger. That meant if we weren't allowed to show our emotions when we were younger, we felt like we didn't matter, and so we put on this mask, right? If we were told we were a crybaby, well, let's put on this mask now because we're not allowed to show that crying side of us, and that's where we put on these masks of positivity when there's a hell of a lot of sadness that's coming up for you right now, and whatever this Tower moment is, it's triggering it. Well, I can see here that you have the King of Wands when you were younger. King of Wands is a masculine side of us. It's a very controlling part. And because it's come out in your shadow, this tells me that you were in a controlling environment, right? That would have told you to put your emotions away. And your real self wasn't allowed to come out. This is the King of Wands, and he's got the wand in his hand. Wands talks about our direction and where we're meant to go. So I think that when you lost your authenticity, you also lost, you know, the ability to feel your way through life and go towards your purposeful direction, right? And I think what else that you lost because of this controlling environment when you were younger is to have the pure joy. Sun just talks about pure joy. I'm not talking about happiness, fake happiness, putting on a mask happiness. I'm talking about that 3-letter word, joy, that is huge when we're dealing with, you know, helping our inner children and healing. I remember at the beginning of my journey, I didn't know what joy meant. I didn't know what brought me happiness. And I had my cat in here I've been keeping the door open, and you can probably hear her meow. So she's a kitten. She's about 8 months old, and she's wondering what to do with herself right now. So we'll see what happens with her. She might jump on the table. She hasn't yet. But so when we get back to this joy, and so the joy part is, I remember when I was young, when I first started like I was saying before, my cat was meowing. She might jump up. He might jump up. Yeah, here he is right here. So I'll introduce him. This is the first time he's jumped up, and his name's Lirio. So here he is. Can you see him? Yeah. So I'll just let him lay here and see if if he starts touching things, then I'll have to. This is an experiment because I don't want to keep him out, and I really want to allow him to be in here with me when I'm reading. So if he falls asleep, it's great. If not, yeah, no, I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see. He's already interrupting my reading. Okay, so at the beginning of my journey, when I was trying to discover what joy is for myself, my therapist asked me to write to my inner child and ask them what would bring them joy. And of course, I had to fake it until I made it when it came to that, because I really didn't believe that I was writing to my inner child and that this was real and happening. So my inner child told me that they wanted a doll. they wanted a doll to play with. And here I am, an adult. You know, at the time I was still married, and I had 3 children of my own, older children, grown, not old, but they're older children, out of the doll stage. So there was no doll in my house to be had. So I literally had to go out to Walmart and try to find a doll that my inner child wanted. And so I did. I brought it home and I slept with that doll. Times when I really needed it, when I was feeling really sad, I just hugged that doll, because that's what my inner child needed. This Page of Pentacles right here, that's what it needs from you. Not necessarily a doll. Maybe you need to go out biking. Maybe you need, I don't know what your inner child needs, but they're going to tell you. And so, because the joy that you would have had when you were younger, as a child, was taken away from you. And I can see it here, it's buried. So there's some real sadness, I'm going to say, around losing your authenticity when you were younger, losing yourself, losing that joy, not having that joy when you were younger. And it really needs to come out. And for some reason, this Tower moment that's happening to you right now is triggering all of that sadness from your childhood. And when you process, and when you sit down and feel that pain of that sadness that you're feeling right now from what has just happened with you, you are also feeling the pain of this authenticity that was buried, and your joy that was buried. And that's how this journey works. And so what guidance does the tarot have for you so that you can begin to, really feel the sadness? Well, the first thing that happens is, the Moon card comes out in reverse, and the Moon card talks about things that are hidden from us. Sometimes it can focus on, our intuition, but I think there's something that's hidden from you, maybe something you don't know about, maybe you don't remember, maybe there's a memory here, but that's wanting to come out. Right now, there's some resistance to going there for you. But I think the universe wants to reveal something to you, because it's in reverse. And right underneath it is the 6 of Swords card in reverse. And the 6 of Swords in an upright position talks about this gondolier man, I'm calling, that's taken this, looks like a woman with her child, to safer waters. Because if you look closely at this card, you can see the wavy, rough waters here. And then they're going towards, he's bringing them towards these really smooth waters here. This is in reverse for you. This card, when it comes up, doesn't matter where it is in my deck, it's my card of safety. This says that, Capricorn, you need to get yourself to a safe place right now. I don't know how safe you are because it's in reverse. And so, because when we do this healing work for ourselves, it's very important that we surround ourselves by safe people. And sometimes we can actually be in the presence of someone and we think that they are our protector, when they're not really. Sometimes we can be repeating some same patterns from our childhood with this person, and they're not safe. And so it's really important that you get yourself to a safe place, because the 7 of Pentacles is the last card here, and the 7 of Pentacles is this individual that's been doing something all their life. Maybe you've been with someone, a partner, maybe it's a family member, maybe you've been with them all your life, and it's almost like this person has hoed all of these pentacles and has said, at the end of it says this everything. And so maybe you're feeling like, you could be feeling you're stuck in this relationship. You could be feeling like, is this everything to life? But there's so much here. The universe is saying, it wants you. There's something here that it has for you. Sometimes it could be a memory. Sometimes it could be a new direction for you. Sometimes it could be something big that's going to bring some joy to you. You don't know what it is, but the first thing is you have to, get yourself grounded and start to feel, start to embody, who you really are, and start to feel whatever it is this Tower moment was. And so I'm going to leave you with, I think I'm going to leave you with a video on journaling, because I think it's very important that you start to get in contact with your inner children and start to ask them, what brings you joy? What do you need? What is it that they want to tell you right now, right? So I want you to have compassion for yourself and what you're working through. Capricorn, this is the most difficult journey of your life, but it's the most important one. So take care, and I'll talk soon. Bye-bye.